This is a 1967 Firebird 400 convertible that I purchased off the internet from a fella out in Itasca, Illinois on September 7th, 2018. It was sold to me as a fully restored automobile with some damage on the passenger side, and I bought it with full knowledge of that, but thinking that the rest of the car was fully restored. It'd be a good fixer-upper, wouldn't take a whole lot of time or a whole lot of money. And this shows the side where the damage was. It supposedly side-swiped an ATM machine. Not sure if that was true. It has a flat hood on it rather than a 400 hood. I knew that going in. It's a hood either off a 326 or a 350, not a 400. There are a lot of things wrong with this car for a fully restored car. It supposedly had new bumpers front and rear. It has the old original maybe, is still on the car. Rusty, discolored. You can see the hood doesn't fit necessarily well. The paint's not much to write home about. Kind of shiny. It's missing the weather pieces that go between the fender and the grill out on the corners. It's missing the front signal parking lights. In fact, the housings are gone. The housings aren't even there. It was professed to have the correct YT engine in it. It does not. It does have a 400, but from the numbers, it's I believe a YX. It's a 71 engine out of a 400 big car, not out of a Firebird, not out of a GTO. It's got a 2-barrel carburetor, low compression, 8.2 compression ratio. It does have a few new things. It's got a new brake booster. Some of the wiring, in fact the wiring was professed to be all new wiring harnesses, but if you look back here, a little hard to tell. Back here, the wires under my hand are burned, melted, bare wire showing through. Any of the other wiring that I can find on it, there isn't any of it new. It's wrapped with new electrical tape. That's about it. Power steering doesn't work. There's no fluid in it. It all leaked out by the time it sat here for a while. Radiator is pretty much empty. Don't know if that leaked out. It didn't really have hardly anything in it when it got here. By the way, today is February 27th, 2019. It's been almost 6 months. Been arguing about the original owner taking this car back. Fully restored as it was sold, as it was advertised. You can see it has the old door panels. It's got door handles that basically fell off. Terrible shape. Original. The driver's seat has a new cover on it, but as you can see, the padding was never put in it, never replaced. The mileage is being advertised as 75,000. It's pretty hard to see it, but it's 01310, which would indicate that it's over 100,000 miles. The steering wheel, like they all did, cracked, discolored. The gauges don't work. If you look at the top header of the windshield, The chrome pieces are rusty. This car again was advertised as fully restored. Back here, if you look at the convertible boot, it's got snaps, button snaps. This wasn't the way the Firebirds were, or the Camaros for that matter. If you take this off and look in here, supposedly had a black convertible top, when in actuality it has no top at all. It's got the framework. Most of the rubber is in rough shape. There's no pump motor, hoses. One of the cylinders is missing. A little hard to get around here. The top is disconnected from the cylinders, so it has to be pulled up manually. Most of it's in rough shape. Really needs to come apart and be rebushed. It doesn't fit down on the front right anyway. But this is professed to be fully restored. Can't really see back in here, but the hoses, there are some kind of hoses and wires down in there. But when I pulled the rug up on the side where it's supposed to come along the floor, doesn't seem to be anything showing. It's all underneath the fiberglass. That the floors were fiberglassed over. So some of the things look pretty good on it. Overall, it's not much. I want to put it up in the air. Supposedly all the suspension was redone, front and back, highly detailed. None of that's true. It's got the old ball joints. I think it does have new tie rod ends, new shock absorbers, but all the old greasy ball joints and that sort of thing are all still in place. The rear suspension, same way. The downpipes were coated with aluminum paint, but it does have new mufflers and tailpipes on it. The downpipes leak. So this pretty much a fraud, the way this thing was advertised and sold. And as we go around the front here, you can see better maybe from this view that there are no parking signal lights. The wires are just dangling in there. It does have the proper hockey sticks in the grille. There's no 400 emblem on the front bumper, which is a little weird. So you can see some of this is cracked. As we get it up in the air and look at it closer, there's wires just hanging for the lights, as you can see there. And as you can see the underside, you can see the shocks and the crud that has never been restored. And as you look in the back, it's missing one of the radius rods or traction bars, whatever you want to call it. It does have a new gas tank, or at least it's painted. The rear bumper looks like a reproduction. It's got some few lines kind of patched together. You can see the aluminum paint on the pipes and cobbed together on the muffler. It's got rust. It does have frame connectors. That's a good thing. So somebody had done some work on this, but nowhere near the way it was professed to be sold as. As you can see, power steering pump's leaking. I'll try to get some more light on this. As you can see here, all the old grease, grime, the rubbers on the ball joints, just greasy, ripped, torn, whatever, covered with grease and undercoating, rattle can undercoating. See the same thing here on this side. I just wanted to document this so that other people could see. Be real careful of what you buy on the internet. This looks like the pan had a leak in it, was patched. Doesn't have the cover plate on it. Anyway.